Hey guys, so I've just finished reading. Sorry, I did not see the text. Um, I'm going to find now. It's now playing. Yeah, it's playing now. It's boyfriend material, and it's my anyways. It's Y1, and I have read this book on it, also listened because it's an audiobook. Um, anyway, if you follow me on Telegram, you might know that I have just read Father Material, which is part 3 of the trilogy, and between that it was Husband Material. But I did not like that one because I felt that it was like too much of a repeat of the first one. And so I did not read it, but I was very curious about Father Material for reasons that I mentioned in my review, so I did read it and I loved it. And also it prompted me to like reread boyfriend material because I do love boyfriend material. Boyfriend material is one of my favorite books and I do have it in my library, as you can see. Um I don't know if I sent it before, but this is anyways this my one. I do have a review on it if you're interested. It's an MP3 player, and sadly this particular um recording of the book did not came with uh, cover with album cover, which is a little bit disappointing, but I'm okay. And also, I do have a paid Storytel subscription where I have read both boyfriend material and father material. Um, so yeah, I'm not like reaping creators of their money. I just want to keep my favorite books in a permanent fashion, in more permanent fashion. Especially now that there are a lot of anti-LGBTQ laws in my country. Um, so yeah, without further ado, let's begin the review. And honestly, if I could sum up this book in one word, this would be Gay Pride and Prejudice. Because Oliver is giving such Mr. Darcy vibes, and honestly, Mr. Darcy is not my favorite character. I think he is way, way, way overrated because it would be very, very difficult to have a relationship with a man who is or woman with a person who is essentially so closed off and so hung up on his station and stuff. And I feel like Oliver is that on the outside, but um honestly he just expresses his emotions in a very neat way, in a very socially acceptable posh way. And he is also really strict, really reliant on rules, and it's not a bad thing per se, but he just does not have this ability to manage his emotions and to understand what is going on in his life a lot of the time. This is due to like his parents massive mistakes, but more on that later. So I feel like he's better version of Mr. Darcy, but like the similarity of it is we essentially have two very different people who don't like each other, and they start fake dating and they start liking each other, which sounds really, really basic. And I don't normally love this kind of shit. Sorry, you guys. The recording just stopped because my phone decided to tell me it needed update, so I start. But I was like, no, I'm recording this, dude. So anyway, as I was saying, what I really like about this book is that the characters did not have some big, silly, over dramatic fights. They were just, misunderstood. They misunderstood each other, and they met in um, very, very unfortunate circumstances. To one of them to look, and sort of they were trying to work through their dislike, and they really needed each other because they had a really good reason to need fake to need a fake boyfriend. And in Luke's case it was really, really messed up because basically homophobic people were telling him he should quit his job because he did not behave quote unquote respectably, and it was messed up, and they are horrible people, absolutely horrible. And I mean, this is said in a very fun, very carefree, very light manner, but the reality is super, super awful. Of the situation, I mean. And Oliver, I think he needed his parents' approval, because he knew that they would freak the hell out on him if he was single again. And honestly, they were not fine with his homosexuality. I mean, they were fine on paper with his homosexuality, but in reality, they kept rubbing his nose in how he would never, quote unquote, also have children, which is, if you read my review on of part 3, is not true, because this is literally what they're doing in part 3. And they also kept making, I mean, his parents, they kept making these insensitive homosexual jokes. And this was also super awful. But overall, like, the whole story was very light, and yeah, characters had a good reason not to have the best of relationship at the beginning, but there was clear chemistry between them, and there was a clear desire to kind of work past their flaws and improve their understanding of each other, and there was a desire to try and make things work that is oftentimes better than actual relationships. They were trying really hard for each other. They were eventually being truthful. Oliver, the stuck-up guy, was helping this other guy, Luke, through a really tough time. They ended up doing that for like each other, so that's really, really cool. And this is also done with a massive side dish of like British humor, and what I really like about it, it's very universal, universally understandable. Like, as a non-British person, I really understood that humor. I did not find it as funny as I might have done, but yeah, it was filled with really understandable universal jokes, which overall made it very light read, or a really balanced read, because there are a lot of dramatic moments in it. Um, Again, what did I want to tell you? Yeah, about Luke. So this other guy, Luke, the one who was about to be turfed out of his job, he had a really bad breakup. Um, and also he had issues because his parents were famous, and so he was kind of famous through them. And also media had they did not destroy his life, but they did mess it up quite a lot. And this is absolutely awful. What's happening to those people and to those kids and to those teenagers whose parents choose to be famous. And I don't think this is what should be happening, because I remember reading I remember my grandma listening to like a podcast about a famous person's daughter. She was 12 years old, and she was like in no way absolutely doing anything remotely resembling what her dad did. And she was just, like a normal kid studying at a normal. Okay, it was a posh school, it was a fancy school, but whatever, it was a school. And I mean, why would you mm, go after a kid? Like, why would you take an interest in a kid? Yeah, I get it. She's interesting when she's with her dad because it shows like what kind of dad he is. But by herself, uh, I mean, she does not want this. She does not need this. Not at this age. Not at the age of 12. And obviously, I'm really glad that Luke could eventually overcome his I would say he could understand that it doesn't matter what media thought of him. What mattered was people he loved and people who loved him, and the way that his life was and the way he had built it. So yeah, they both gotten better at the end, and I absolutely would recommend this book if you are looking for a fun romance, and if you're looking for an enemies to lovers romance, and if you love Pride and Prejudice like I do, and also, but it also manages to bring some of the important issues like to light in a very fun, in a very peripheral and non-offensive way, and I absolutely love it. Thank you. I hope you read the book.